Hey guys, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. For those of you who haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is love, light, the highest levels of love, light, benevolence for all, and unity, consciousness, and oneness. So I'm just delving right into this. I just did a video, a really brief video, sharing that a lot of ascension symptoms are coming up for a lot of people, and it's very normal to be feeling certain things that are coming through. We're holding space for the earth. We're holding space for one another. There are a lot of people, I feel, that are starting to feel these things and don't know what's going on. So again, for those of you who haven't seen these videos before, or you don't know what ascension symptoms are, I did a video on it. I'll try to share the link that's in more detail. But essentially, we're all in this together. We're all in this soup. We're all in this melting pot together. And holding space for one another as well as ourselves is really important. Not ignoring our body, not I don't know what the word is for, but discrediting someone for what they're experiencing. Like, okay, that person's weird. They're in their own little bubble because they're in their own universe. They're creating their universe. But we're still all connected, like bubbles. You know, when you blow a bunch of bubbles, it's like there's a bubble here and there's a bubble here, but we're still vibrating and in each other's space. So the more we can stay in alignment with our higher selves, the more we can stay in alignment with what we are here to do as light workers, if you feel like that's your cup of tea, then the more we also honor ourselves. And in doing that, it's not about holding space for others without holding space for ourselves. That was the message that's coming through. Its key ingredient is to do what our bodies need us to do. It's just like when we're on the airplane and people in the hostess, flight attendant on the airplane talks about the air mask. You know, when we're in this turbulence, we don't take the air mask and put it on somebody else before we put it on ourselves. We are the ones that need to focus on ourselves. By doing the work on ourselves, we then allow others to follow that suit so that they can work on themselves and not worry about what's going on in the collective, what's going on here, when's the next activation going to come, why is this not happening soon enough, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to share that. And then that allows us to then reach over, because we're grounded, we're anchoring the energies, we're expanding out, feeling more light, and then they're able to feel that light that we are exuding from our own depths, if that makes sense. So I'm going to invite you just to take a deep breath in and a long exhale. And recognize that we are here to support one another, and in doing this we are supporting the earth. I'm seeing us all holding those bubbles again, and essentially earth is kind of being carried by us, but in also the other way around, earth is carrying us as well. And the more we recognize that we are here to support one another, including the earth, including all of the inhabitants of earth, the more we recognize that we are here to create in oneness. And I'm just kind of doing a little breathing, because as these come through, it's like strong energies, and so sometimes I get a little bit all over the place. As our architecture, our human architecture, is being fired up, they're showing me that the body is being scrambled right now so that it can be restructured. So I had this beautiful sharing with this other lightworker starseed friend of mine, Candace, who we were talking about some of the things that we were seeing. And I was seeing us playing this Scrabble game. And she and I play a lot with words, and a lot of you guys out there do too. Others play a lot with math. Others play a lot with, so this is two different little branches, if you will, that we're going into. But if you're multidimensional, right, we're gonna just go with it. And what my guides are showing me is that she and I, because we're like, what are we doing? We're still figuring that out, by the way. But we're creating all these words, and we're in flow, and like we're really connecting. So a lot of us are connecting telepathically, more so than we ever have been, and we're doing that with our soul tribe. From when I'm in flow right now sharing this. So a lot of us are being guided to go to different places, connect with certain people, because we're connecting with our soul tribe. And then when we connect with our soul tribe, it basically lights that trail up. So for me, I know I've got people in my soul tribe that I've connected with. You know, one beautiful starseed who I've been friends with since high school, but that's shifted and changed. A few of my friends that I've been friends with since grade, like these things are coming through, and all of a sudden I'm going, oh, we're supposed to be doing this together. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing this, and they can help me with that. And it's like we're pinging off of each other. So I talked about that taste the color of the rainbow. So the telepathic communications and portals are opening up if we're open to that. But what my guidance team showed is that we're playing this game of Scrabble, and essentially we are shifting it all around and making new words from this old energy. But in also doing that, now I'm bringing to the table, and my other starseed sisters and brothers are bringing to the table their own words and their own energies. And they're like, here, I'm going to plug that in. How do you feel about that? And I light up and I go, oh yeah, let's shift it around to this angle. So that's happening on one layer, okay? The other layer is that physically that's what's happening. So if you think of our DNA, if you think of our proteins, if you think of different chemicals in the body, and they're all can be seen from different perspectives. So they're showing me like the chemical where it's got like these bonds that are like AHT, OP, whatever, and you mix and match them to create new bonds. So it's like this parallel, right? And they're also sharing with me that a lot of the connections that we're making with one another are parallel expressions of what's going on. As above, so below, as within, so without. So just as mathematics and geometry can express what's going on in the universe, it can also express what's going on physically, right? Same thing with what we're speaking of when you hear different starseeds and light workers that are in flow, or they're channeling messages. So essentially what I'm seeing is not only is this happening on a social scale, it's also happening on a physical scale. So we've got this old Scrabble system in our body, and our guidance team, our higher selves, our light, our frequencies, and these ascension symptoms, right, are a symbol that they're all being scrambled. And they might feel scrambled for a while, and then all of a sudden, that piece of the puzzle, so they're showing me picture Scrabble, but they all have puzzle shapes to them. Then once we kind of get through this cycle that we're in right now, this spin cycle, it scrambles it all, it's going to kind of settle, and then all of a sudden those pieces are going to find one another and reorganize is the word that they're using. And so while we feel a little scrambled right now, a little scrabbled right now, and a little unorganized right now, there are those that are feeling like they're being guided towards a certain direction. Plugging into a certain portal, so to speak. A certain juices are flowing that are essentially lining them up, pushing us to different places that we need to go. So they're showing me a bunch of people sitting on like their own little raft on a river. And this river was going in one direction, but now the river is overflowing, and they're being carried off in this other direction. And there are people that are on these rafts going, hey, wait a minute, where am I going? I can't seem to get back to where I was. And that's going to feel odd for a lot of us. And they're sharing that they're showing these rafts being carried to the shore. And as the people land, they're going to look around and go, oh, well, this is really pretty. I never noticed this before. And they're not going to miss that old river that they were on before as much, although it will feel squishy at first. It'll feel a little like, you know, challenging perhaps to find your footing is what they're saying. We invite you to be as open as possible to wherever the deluge is carrying you towards, and recognize that sometimes the stops along the way are not the final destination. They are more of recharging stations, and these recharging stations that we may feel stuck at, that we may feel like we've ran out of gas at, that we may feel like we've gotten a flat tire at, or on the flip side, we may feel like we don't want to leave from because we've made this new connection, or we feel like this is it. We are inviting you to recognize that none of it is it. There is so much more that is incoming if you are open to the deluge. You are being carried into a new way of being, a new resonance. And they're also kind of tying this back in with Schumann resonance and earth resonance. And they're showing me again that picture of all of us as little bubbles carrying the earth to a different place, a new harmonic resonance. For we are playing this music, and I'm hearing reference to lyra, L-Y-R-E, as well as lyra, L-Y-R-A. So a lyra is a harp. It's also a star system. Some language wants to come through, so I'm just going to kind of stay in that flow. We are inviting you to detach from the strings that you are carrying, lighten the load. They've shared this in a previous video. For you are not meant to carry others. You will naturally do that because they will wish to follow you. As you hold your own frequency and play your own strings, your tendrils will reach out and connect to these other beings that are open to that connection. And then in that space, you will assist them by holding your own frequency, by playing your own lyre. So what they're kind of showing is this lyra, like people, the sirens, right? The sirens call the sailors to these islands. That's what we're doing. We're creating a voice, we're creating an energy, we're creating a frequency that others are drawn to, because we came here to create that frequency, to help or assist or to activate or to play or to all of the above with our brothers and sisters. And as we unify in these harmonics, we allow those that before could not find their way to hear what we are playing. And they're showing me that this is going to be not just in the form of hearing messages like what I'm sharing now and what other star seeds that are plugging into this that are then sharing as well. They're also going to see it. So again, it's through all different forms. It's compassionate action is what they're sharing. It's leading through example, and also not being afraid to speak our truth and to come from a place of authenticity and divine remembrance that we are, it's like the truth of Namaste. May the light within me see the light within you. Let us really truly see the light within one another and to uphold that standard of living. For as we are carried off through the different currents, through the different streams, they're showing me the ley lines in the earth are shifting and upwelling as well. We are feeling this new dynamic interplay between us and the earth. It's almost like this disconnect that we had been a part of, we've now reconnected. And so while we reconnect with the heartbeat of the earth, these new frequencies and bandwidths are enveloping us. They are assisting us and moving us through into different spaces. It's really beautiful. I see all of us wrapped up in the earth petals is what they're calling them. Ah, earth petals. So it's so important, you guys, to really connect with earth. I'm going to go out today and definitely spend some alone time with just Gaia, earth, all versions of earth. For as she carries us, we carry her. I'm hearing lots of plays on carry. So my name's Carrie. I'm hearing carry on my wayward son. think I was singing that song before. I do not listen to that song on a regular basis, but it's coming through. I don't remember all the lyrics, but you can look up that. Oldie but goodie, I guess. I'm also hearing Nina Simone, my favorite song. I'll have to put that on here, the lyrics. It's playing in the back of my head so strong that I'm just listening to it just for a moment to get into that. So pay attention to the songs that are playing in your head, guys. I'm going to talk, my next video I'm doing right after this is going to be on synchronicity. So feeling good. It's like talking about the, you know what I mean? Like all of the animals are like, there's a lot of celebration going on if we are allowing ourselves to link in. So even though we're going through a lot of ascension symptoms, perhaps some of us are, we're being invited to recognize that more is at work and more is at play. The more we can be at play, the more we allow these things to work through us. The more we allow our upgrades and activations to occur, and therefore the upgrades and activations to occur through us. So they're showing me that we're conduits essentially. And rather than blocking these frequencies and hanging on to them and analyzing them and getting into fear about them and getting into, you know, working through those is great, and that's part of what we are doing, but don't get hung up on all of that. If the more we can just be free-flowing conduits, the more others will benefit from our conduency. I'm hearing can do it. Can do it. I'm seeing that like rolled up on the sleeve. We can do it. Women with the, anyways, do you guys know what poster I'm talking about? You guys know what Nina Simone song I'm talking about. As we allow the song of our soul, of our freedom to sing through our veins, to sing through our completeness, as we allow this serendipity, synchronicity, serenading to play on our heartstrings, from our heartstrings in an accordion-like architecture. They're showing me, I was having lots of reference this morning to the diaphragm and then reference to the lungs. I'm going to share a painting that a drawing that I just took a picture of from Rachel Jean Art on the lungs. Rachel, thank you so much. I screenshotted that one. And my friend Candace at God Essence was talking, I think she did a post about the lungs, I'm not sure, but I'm going to be going into flow a little bit about that. And what they're showing me is this expansiveness. Think of the lungs as the branches or the roots of the tree. And the more we're expanding and allowing that light to come in or the air to come in to fill the lungs and expand, the more that energy travels out through into the body, because the breath is the life, right? We're essentially breathing in more of us, more of the God essence that we are. And so they're kind of reminding me that this feeds the whole body. You know, when we think of the lungs and what they do for us and the blood, it's essentially moving the blood through our system, moving the blood through our organs, through our veins, and oxygenating. And it means that we're working at our higher potential. So we've not been taught this before. Well, we have if we've studied it, obviously, or taking yoga or anything like that, pranayama. But essentially, this is it's pushing the inbound train through the body, and it allows it to organize in a better fashion. So I'm being guided to talk a little bit about this, and sharing that, you know, just like in heart math, when we go into coherence, it allows us to organize everything better, from the heart. So think of these heartstrings. We're organizing through these chords, and it's playing the harmony in the body. So our body consists of water, right? Air, the elements of the earth, and everything is essentially working together in that soup and reforming and reorganizing. And our breathing is so important. We don't give it enough credit. So it's not just about breathing, it's am I breathing, it's how am I breathing, it's where am I breathing, it's how many breaths am I taking, can I extend my breath, can I hold my breath at the top and then let it go. It's playing with that to see how our body feels in recognition of the harmony that we are aligning with. And as we allow these systems to essentially feed other systems, again, they're showing me the lungs and the roots expanding out into the body. It's showing me that it's linking up and assisting the building of certain building blocks of matter. So they're showing me not only the platonic solids and the vibration of all of these shapes, but they're also showing me that essentially this is, well, holding space and telling our body that it's safe. It's telling our body that it doesn't need to run away. They're sharing like fight or flight response. It's allowing us to deactivate the mental monkey, the mental chatter that has been all too present in our past circumstances, or even in our current circumstances. But what they're showing is that this monkey is slowing down the currency, the free currency, the new value system. There's so many plays on words, guys. As we allow this jet stream propulsion, I'm seeing jet stream flow like in propulsion, to flow through our system. Jet stream is the air, this flow of currency. It allows us to follow the direction in our bodies where the breath needs to go in order to light up the spaces that need more space, that like in order to expand out these areas. So it's almost like they're showing me that breath is light. So if you picture the breath coming into a particular place in the body, and as you breathe in, imagine that space expanding in light. I always like, I'm seeing it as a golden silver frequency with kind of like a pink undertone. I always see electric blue too because I just do, but that is expanding that area out, and it's almost like there's certain bonds. Oh, okay, they're showing me diatoms. So there's these little tiny baby diatoms, and if you think of them in the oceans of the earth, they're showing me that that's kind of what's going on in our body, our own diatoms that we're holding in the form of cells, in the form of proteins. Remember, all of this stuff is like living. So we are the oceans of the earth. It's like we are a universe. This is our earth. This is our logos, right? If that's the right term. And within us, we have islands and oceans, islands in the stream. That is what we are. So funny. Oh my goodness, this is so funny. If I look at the lyrics, they're just taking me off into another flow with that song. Such a cheesy song. Gotta love it. Don't know if you like the Kenny Rogers Dolly Parton version or the Bee Gees version. They're both equally spectacular in their own way. I bet that's a song they probably play on Yacht Rock. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Basically what they're sharing is that the body is its own unit, its own logos, its own. So just like the earth right now has these diatoms and that are essentially breaking their glass ceiling. I have a lot of messages coming through about that. So are the things that were once held in the body. They were stuck. They're like wiggling and then they're bursting and they need that oxygen and the air to connect. They're kind of showing me like this huge algae bloom happening, but in a good way. It's like necessary, like a bunch of coral. There's these corals that go and spit out the spermatozoum. They're showing this happening in our bodies as well as with the trees. So what they're showing is there's been this big burst energetically that's come up through the earth. Think of the trees as the lungs of the earth, the roots, and they're just sending it out in waves through the leaves somehow. And this is something, one of the reasons, and it's happening in the oceans as well. So it's really important to get by the ocean. So in Flow Toad and the Wet Sprocket, they're showing me like the toad on a mushroom, and that mushroom is going poof, and then the toad is able to then take in that energy that the mushroom has just shared. Not that I'm inviting anybody to take mushrooms. I'm just sharing that this is happening. It's like the spores have been released and we are absorbing the nutrients if we're breathing. It's a gift from Mother Nature. And as we rise to meet the occasion, as we allow ourselves the moments to enjoy this momentum that is being offered through this jet stream propulsion, so to speak, through these currents in the airstream. So it's almost like whatever's going on with the ocean and the trees and the changes in the earth, it's being carried through the jet stream into the clouds and into the air to help to cleanse, to benefit the all. And again, I'm hearing this reference to the times are a-changing, this old song, the times are a-changing. The tides are changing. For this is necessary in the complexities of the brain. So they're also showing how much breathing oxygenates the brain. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that's been dormant, just, it's like the breath never quite got there. It never quite was able to really get in there. They're showing me about the lungs and the heart and how much the lungs and the heart are symbolic of each other. And thinking of the diaphragm as the hands that hold it all, like these bony fingers are just like holding this so that it can expand. And the bones are expanding too. So I'm just going to see if anything else wants to come through. Yes, much more, but not for this video. We invite you to sit with these frequencies that are being offered for, as we share these videos, it isn't just the words that are interlapping with the imagination, with the right and left brains and the hemispheres. It is the feeling that is ignited through what we are offering. For in this frequency and in this accord, we are sharing our harp, if you will, our lyra energies and frequencies that may be felt within your field, should you choose to experience those frequencies as well. We honor you in your placement, in your space, in your spacement, coming up from the basement, recognizing that going within and allowing yourself to expand is what is needed in this now moment, in this now momentous occasion. And so it is. In love and light, guys. Namaste.